Have you ever seen how most people spend their lives waiting for permission? Permission to dream, permission to work, allowed to live as their existence means something. They wait before society's pat, to approve teachers before making them, to guarantee the world's success before risk. But the truth is that no one is going to leave permission to greatness. No one comes to your crown. You should be crowned yourself. Elon Musk once said, "When something is important, do this, even if the sounds are not in your favor." That single line shows that most students have to ignore. Life does not ask if you are ready. Ask if you are interested. When the argument asks you to sit, it is ready to move on. When everyone else chooses silence, they risk ridicule. Faith is ready to believe when faith finds itself foolish. Because students who change the future are not the ones waiting. They are the ones who work in the same way that the future already requires their presence. Every day you wake up, you stand at a junction that no one else can see. One road is known, safe, approximate, paved with comfort and compromise. The other way is unprotected, full of fog, uncertainty, and risk. Most people choose the first way because it seems simple, but is the enemy of light extraordinary. When he leaves everything in South Africa, Elon Musk chose not easily. But there was nothing with nipple sight. When he invests every dollar in him, he was not easy, and new failure could not leave him. When the rockets burst, when the factories cooled, when the critics did not choose to laugh at her face, it was not easy. And yet, by choosing a tough road, he discovered that the rest of the world finally had to accept. The story only remembers those who dared. Students often confuse security with success, but they are not the same. Security can stay alive, but only against makes you unforgettable. Each test you study, every late night you are pushing, every decision to discipline yourself, while other times destroys, it's not just about character. It's about strengthening your character to get another way enough to take another way. The way of vision, progress, destiny road. The mentality is an invisible motor that gives strength to any result in your life. If you think the world is firm, limited, and incompetent, you will shrink to fit inside your cage. But if you believe that the world can be shaped, expanded, and interrupted, you will start to reverse reality yourself. Students often underestimate the power in their own thoughts, but thought it was a fate seed. Musk did not just study the equations. He questioned them. He not only accepted the textbooks as the truth, he regarded him as the first points. The biggest findings do not come from those who remember the answers. They come from those who dare to ask big questions. What if we can live on another planet? What if cars did not poison the air? What if the energy can flow endlessly from the sun? First, these questions look crispy, but madness is often the twin brother of genius. The difference lies in endurance. The moment you let your mindset expand out easily, you stop becoming a student of the world and start becoming an architect. And this is where the change begins. Not in laboratories, not in offices, not in the boardroom, but in the mind of a student who chooses to think differently. Faith is fuel that converts impossible vision to inevitable realities. Without faith, even the most bright thoughts in the dark. With confidence, can even the smallest spark antenna a revolution. Think about it. Each student has dreams, but not all students believe them, so they can fight for them. Custer did not believe that rockets could fly. He thought that when the whole industry was impossible, it was impossible. They could be reused. He did not believe that electric cars could be present. He believed that when they laugh at thinking, they could perform better than gasoline. Faith is not about evidence, unless there is no evidence. It is not about punishment. If you wait for evidence before you think, you will always come very late. Faith makes you fast. Trust makes you unfair. Believe you make you invincible. Students who cultivate faith push the failure of the past, which poses a sound of doubts, who look at the rejection letter, bad character, broken plans, and still whisper, "This is not the end." Because faith does not mean that you are sure. This means you are engaged. And once you are engaged, the universe begins to arrange a decision. Clarity is the lens that makes the blurry dreams a sharp, undisputed vision. Without clarity, you wander. With clarity, you win. Students often pursue everything at once: character, approval, attention, until their energy is spread and their progress is not invisible. But the truth is that the mind cannot kill a goal that he cannot see. Musk did not want to succeed. He defined it with a razor. He was not only interested in technology, he was clearly in solving human existence. He did not just chase money, and made the effect so purposefully against the effect that she would resonate through generations. Causal is one that lets you wake up in the direction of rather than confusion. When you know what you are targeting, any decision becomes easier. Do I spend the evening rolling infinity, or do I study the book that takes me closer to my goal? Do I waste my energy on gossip, or do I spend the same time enhancing my edge? It is not clarified. It is produced through questions, cruelly honest self, insight. Students who achieve clarity do not ask life what it can give them. They tell life what they build here. And when your vision gets ready, no storm can blur it, no critic can shake it, and no obstacles can hide it for you. Discipline is the bridge between what you want and what you want. Talent can affect people, but without discipline it dies as a broken spark. Students often confuse motivation with discipline. Inspiration is high, but temporary. The discipline is calm, but eternal. Musk did not trust to feel motivated to continue to go. He depended on the habit of showing how he feels. He slept on the floor of the factory, worked through nights, and gave his energy when his body demanded rest. This is discipline, comfort, progress, relapse of apology, assignments at this time. Every time you study that when you scroll, every time you relax, when you relax, every time you focus when you focus, while the world is distracted, you don't just make a habit, make a character that can't break any mistakes. Discipline is disguised as freedom. It now seems heavy, but later releases you from the average, free from remorse, free from life that can ever be, but never. Students who embrace discipline find that consistency connections as interest. Small tasks of today's efforts will be an empire tomorrow. And when others wonder how you did this, the answer would be simple. Discipline took me when Presna left me. The action is the current that gives life. You can dream, you can plan, you can imagine, but until you don't work, nothing is going on. Something changes. The world is full of people with good ideas buried in notebooks, magazines, and conversations, who never left the coffee table. But the story is only written by those who work. Musk did not wait for permission, not waited at the right time, did not wait for security. He launched rockets, who failed, created cars, released products that were mocked by critics, and each action drew the impossible close. Students are often paralyzed with overthinking, afraid to be wrong. But hesitant is more dangerous than failing, as the hesitation kills the speed before it begins. Mistakes you at least teach you. Action, even incomplete action, creates speed, creates reaction, creates opportunities. When you work, you find that the world does not punish as much risk as it pricks hesitation. Each step, no matter how small it is an announcement that you live, as you promote, as you do. And soon these steps will be jumped. They jump into successes and successes in revolutions. Students who work become leaders because leaders are the only ones who freeze others. Gratitude is a quiet force that multiplies everything you touch. This is not weakness. It is strength, because it prevents your vision from collapsing under the weight of the ego. Musk can be tireless, but it is not blind. He thanks his teams. He accepts those who stood with him. He credits the veterans whose shoulders made his climb possible. Gratitude does not mean that you're organized. Gratitude means that you already recognize equipment in your hands, so you can make fast, strong, higher. Students often express gratitude for decency, but they protest. Gratitude accelerates hunger, because when you are grateful for the resources you have, you learn how to spread them, multiply them, and do more. Every teacher who pushes you, every book that opens your thoughts, every failure that teaches you a lesson, all this is fuel if you see it through gratitude. Without it, you are right and bitter. With this, you become flexible and creative. Gratitude does not mean ignoring struggle. It means finding strength in the fight. And when you live with gratitude, you never go alone. People are ready for those who respect the journey. And together, collaboration becomes the engine that makes it visual for revolutions. Adaptability is the survival code of every major leader. The world you are studying for today will not be the world that you step in tomorrow. Technology displacements, economies bend, the opportunities disappear, and new people explode overnight. Those who remain hard breaks, those who bend, tolerate. Musk never limited itself to a path. He moved from software to bank, rockets to cars, solar energy to artificial intelligence. He doesn't ask, is this my industry? He asks, is it worth solving? This mentality is adaptability in its origin, rejection of boxing by title, degree, or expectations. Students who are favorable adhere to the old map when the area changes. They draw new maps as soon as they go. Adaptability does not mean giving up your vision. It means developing your ways of keeping the vision alive. Those who are against the change are left behind, but those who embrace it bite the waves of resolution and reach the rest. Life will not ask if you are comfortable with change. Will give life change whether you are ready or not. And when this happens, it does not survive the adaptable. They thrive because they understand that flexibility is not weakness. This is a strategy. Flexibility is a heartbeat that refuses to prevent breakdown at any time. Life will do harder tests than you expect. Dreams will collapse, the plans will burn, and people will doubt you when you need them most. But the decision to increase flexibility is when everything else pushes you down. Musk met the rocket, which exploded in the middle wah, factories out of money, and announced their failure before the story ended. Most must have surrendered, but the flexibility whispered, "Not yet." That whisper is everything. Students should understand. Flexibility is not about avoiding failure. It is about absorbing the stop and refusing to stay down. Every exam that you fail, every rejection comes in front of you, every moment where your efforts seem invisible. This is not the end. They train. Flexibility converts stains into armor, knowledge in knowledge, defects in the layout. Without flexibility, even the most talented talent comes out. With flexibility, even the weakest flame can burn through the storm. The world does not reward the first attempt. It rewards the previous one. Students who grow flexibility are not afraid to fail because they know failure is not final. They know that until they rise again, defeat can never demand them. Learning is not the season in your life. It is oxygen in your existence. The moment you think education ends with a candidate, you start dying while alive. Custer consumed books as others use food. He read the entire libraries, learned that he had no formal training, and was mastered in these subjects because he did not need it, but because ignorance was unacceptable. Students often study just to pass the exam, but those who study to pass through the border. Every question you ask, each page you turn, every idea that you are breaking, this is the ammunition for further match. Musk did not wait to respond to professors. He chased a victim and chased knowledge as a hunter. Wyatt is hungry that he can go into aerospace, energy, cars, and artificial intelligence without seeking permission. Real students are not defined by their nominations. They are defined by curiosity. Learning a lifetime means you never get out of weapons. You never get out of equipment. You never get out of opportunities. In a world that develops faster than any textbook, as well as living as students never stop learning. They do not become invincible. They are not just ready for the future. They build it. Time is a currency that you will never earn back. Missed money can be rebuilt. The opportunity can miss once. But a meaningless hour has gone forever. Students often live as time is endless, but it disappears in all other breaths. Musk treats the time as oxygen. It is impossible to do presence, limited, waste. He does not distract the hour. He fills them with decisions that take him closer to his mission. Ask yourself, how many hours have you given away to browse, complain, or turn to wait for inspiration? They don't come back. Every big life is made of minutes of bricks that others throw away. When you understand it, you start planning your fate, not just your day. You begin to protect your time from thieves, whether these thieves are toxic people, shallow habits, or your own lethargy. Time is not a river where you float. It is a weapon you delete. Students who tread for future time, they first compare to everyone. And one day, while others wonder how you get up so soon, you want to know the truth. You just stop wasting the only resource that no one can lose. Discipline is the bridge between you are today and who you are going to stay tomorrow. Without discipline, dreams rot and shed, but with it even becomes impossible philosophy reality. Elon Musk does not depend on inspiration. Mother's mother is delicate. It dies when the mood changes. He relies on discipline, a system that leads when the energy is low, when the criticism is high, when sleep is flexible. Students who create discipline in their youth create an empire in adulthood. When you sleep, discipline is awake. When you browse, read, when you talk, practice, and when the world asks you to be distracted, focuses. There is an invisible engine behind any innovation, any success, any success. Think of rockets. Without fuel, they fall back to the earth. Discipline is fuel for your future. It may not always feel glamorous, but that is why the star when the story is written. Those who master discipline are no longer slaves to their feelings. They are architects for their fate. Mistakes are not contrary to success. It is a raw material for which success is produced. Elon Musk has been laughed, doubted, mocked, and most can count more often to fail. The rockets blasted before reaching the sky. The cars were rejected as toys. The ideas were marked crispy. Still, each failure became a laboratory, each moving a blueprint, each mistake a teacher. Most students are afraid to fail as a disease, when there is really a cure for ignorance. Each failure carries a knowledge seed in what success cannot learn. Musk never runs from failure. He studied it, dissected it, and let it intensify. Those who get up are not those who avoid falling, but those who learn how to get up every time. Flexibility is not done comfortably. This is forged in collapse, rejection, by humiliation. If you can bear the weight of failure without losing fire, the world will eventually bend to your endurance. The real test is not if you do not succeed, if you want to leave. Gratitude is a secret fuel that prevents ambition from turning into emptiness. Elon Musk does a huge responsibility, pressure, and research, but still he often talks about being grateful for life, for consciousness, for life, for the opportunity to contribute something that can exclude him. Students often express gratitude with decency, but gratitude does not mean to settle. This means that intensify your vision also appreciates the possibility of one. Gratitude changes obstacles in teachers, failure in springboards, struggling with training. This perspective gives the pressure crushes and reminds you that every breath is proof that you still have a chance. Gratitude keeps the ego away from pride, but it strengthens the soul, gives you flexibility when the storm comes. When you start looking at even the smallest things, your ability to learn, your freedom to dream, your ability as a gift, you stop wasting energy on bitterness and start investing in creation. A gratitude does not slow you. It multiplies your endurance. The most powerful students are those who can have ambitions in one hand and express gratitude in the other, and move with fire in the chest and peace in their hearts. Adaptability lives at speed. The world you are preparing today will not be the same world that you upgrade in tomorrow. Technology changes, economies collapse, increase new industries, and disappear like old smoke. Elon Musk thrives because the world is stable, rather because he dances with its instability. He can be adopted faster than doubt. Students who oppose the change are still becoming fossils while surviving, but those who change become pioneers. Adaptability is not about leaving your principles. This is about adjusting your strategies without losing sight. Think of a rocket again. The course continues to change, but it still reaches space. The destination remains, but the path bends. Life will require you to press, to unknown, to resume, to begin when you thought you are done. Those who adapt see opportunities where other people see the dead end. The future is not difficult, but for the flexible, not scared, but too smooth. If you can adapt without losing the mission, you will be invincible in a world where security is no longer present. Self-memory is the highest form of education. You can miss the formulas, pass the exam, and collect degrees, but if you cannot master your own mind, you will be a prisoner in all stages of life. Elon Musk does not allow fears to determine her tricks, nor does it allow her comfortably to be trapped on average. They have learned to focus when a distraction, when critics are attacked to control their feelings, to discipline their body when the set of fatigue is set. The true mastery is not outside the world, but on the inner chaos. Students who learn self-benefit, they become unbreakable. Stress can knock on the door, but it does not control their house. The temptation may be whispering, but they do not determine the direction. When you can master your thoughts, you can correct your actions. When you master your actions, you can sculpt your fate. The mind is both cage and key. Exercising it, disciplines it, intensifying it, and this door will never open any degree. The strongest empires are not built with the armies. They are created by individuals who have won themselves first. The vision is the compass that makes every victim worth it. Without vision, the effort is spread, energy is destroyed, and life becomes a maze without exhaust. Elon Musk never works for the next salary. He works for the next century. He does not see Mars as imagination, but as a future address. Energy is not as a business, but as a thing, not as technology. Students living without sight. There's air moving. Students living with vision bends the air. The vision makes sense of the nights you wake up, for the mistakes you tolerate, for the loneliness seeking discipline. This prevents you from drowning in the noise from the present, because your eyes are attached to the horizon for what can happen. Vision does not require resources. This requires courage. You can't have money, connection, or power today, but if you dare to have a big view than your circumstances, you already own tomorrow's blueprint. The world is not related to those who respond to reality. It is related to those who imagine beyond it and then refuses to leave it until it exists. Flexibility is a penny of all greatness. As the storm increases, as the doors slap, when the faults are diverse, the flexibility is the same that keeps you the purpose of breathing in chaos. Elon Musk stands on the edge of the collapse. Almost bankruptcy, rocket explosion. The world laughs. He still refuses a break. Flexibility is not strength without pain. It is a strength made of pain. It is awake in the morning after defeat and is still moving forward. It is in the fire until the fire knows that it cannot consume you. Students who create flexibility cannot take a power. Because life will test you, it will bow to you, shake you, sometimes you will crush. But flexibility makes you infallible. It tells the world, you can hurt me, but you can't stop me. You can slow me down, but you can't complete me. You can doubt me, but you can't define me. Flexible is not left. They are architects who use tomorrow's ruins as tomorrow's basis. And one day, when others wonder how you can tolerate, you want to know the truth. Flexibility not just saved you, it made you invincible. And then the lyrics are converted to a truth. You are not here to float. You will make here to build, to expand what it means. 20 texts by Elon Musk are not instructed by how to mimic life, but the key to unlock their own. Mentality, faith, discipline, flexibility, vision. These are not words, they are weapons, and they are already in you. The question is whether you want to use them or bury them. Today's students, the world does not wait. It is moving forward, sharpening, changes. And the future will not be related to hesitation. It will be related to brave. One day you will see these years back and ask yourself if you've given everything you had, or if you destroyed the opportunity to write your own chapter in the story. Don't let your fire stolen comfortably. Don't let the fear steal your wings. Don't let doubt your fate quiet. The time is now. The option is yours. The future is open. Go ahead, take these lessons and live them with unwanted self-confidence. And if you feel a spark in these words, keep in touch with us. Subscribe to this channel, because it's not just about watching videos. It's about making a community of visionary who refuses to live a little life. Together we get up. Together we build. Together we change everything.